I, 27 female, screamed at my husband, 28 male, over his hobbies, and now he's changed, and I don't know how to fix this.
Oh, man.
Hey everyone, I need some advice about a situation with my husband. We've been married for 4 years. He has a room where he keeps all his hobbies: sim racing, aviation setups, soccer analysis tools, Lego sets, music production equipment. Basically, it's his sanctuary. He's super analytical and loves writing down and dissecting things, from sports to politics. He's slightly on the spectrum and very introverted, so he doesn't have close friends. I'm really the only person he shares everything with. He's always inviting me into his space to be part of his interests. I love him and appreciate that he wants to include me, but sometimes I just need some time for myself. Recently, I snapped. I yelled at him, saying some hurtful things that I didn't mean, like how his interests bore me, that he needs to get a social life, and even questioned why I married him.
Okay. It sounds like you hate your husband.
I regret every word, but my anger got the best of me, and I couldn't control it in that moment. Since then, he's completely changed. He stopped spending time in his room, moved to sleeping on a couch, and barely talks to me. He even ignored our usual tradition of watching our home nation soccer team play, something he'd never skipped before. Instead, he was working on his laptop, breaking our no work at home rule. When I asked him about it, he said he didn't care about the game and mentioned that maybe he should be more like his father, who's a workaholic and whom my husband idolizes. He even added, I don't blame him for divorcing at the age now, and I've apologized multiple times, but he just says, it's okay, maybe you're right, and shuts down any attempts I make to talk about his interests. I'm terrified he's considering divorce. I know I messed up, but I don't know how to rebuild trust and help him feel valued and loved again. I don't want to lose him, but I'm unsure how to approach this and make amends. Any advice?
You definitely have to go to therapy, learn how to communicate better. Couples therapy could help as well if he's willing to. But yeah, it seems like you're just dumping on your husband for who he is as a person.
His home and that room and her was his safe space. And the fact that like he got yelled at for it, to me, that's betrayal. It's just like, wow, you can't accept me for who I am. And that's a huge deal breaker.
As a resident married person, what are your thoughts?
You fucked up. And here's where you fucked up. You lashed out at him. You dissed his hobbies. You dissed the relationship that you have. You said some mean and hurtful things. That's resentment. And from what I understand, if you choose to not speak about your expectations, that becomes resentment that you chose. You have resentment for that person, or for the toys, or for the whatever. It doesn't even matter if that guy's on the spectrum or an introvert. Your home is your safe space. It's where you're supposed to be the most at peace. Supposed to be. So he built this thing where he invites you in his realm and everything and stuff. So what does that mean? That means that as a man, he opens up. Things that most of the time you might be clowned about. Because he's nerdy. Because he's a geeky and autistic. And he opens up and he lets you in the world that he's in. And what you decide to do with that, you decide to spit in it, crush it to the ground, and step on it. That's what you did. I don't have the tools to save your marriage, but I can tell you what you did for you to better understand what you did and how crazy that is. When someone does that to you with your hobbies, with what you believe, what you thought was true, that person cannot trust you no more. And now you want him to open up? Oh, how can I make it better? Let me tell you something, my girl. There's some kinds of disrespect that shuts door that will never be open again. How can I fix it? I don't know if you can. Because the amount of time and the amount of trust it took him to open up to you, and you turn around and you did that, I don't know how you're going to be able to fix that. You could say, hey, you need therapy, you need couples therapy. That's if he wants.
Okay, let me ask a question. If you're married to somebody, and let's say we're in the hypothetical that this is not a consistent habit of theirs to shit on his hobbies like crazy or whatever it is, and this is the first time, wouldn't the expectation be that he kind of should be trying to fix things with her if she's trying as well? Like, isn't this the kind of thing we would expect married people to work through?
So if that person cheat on you first one time, are you going to try to work on that?
Well, I think... Or
are you going to try to work on betrayal?
Well, it depends, right? If you're asking me cheating or her saying I don't like your hobbies, I think they're fucking lame, get a social life, I think there's a different threshold, correct? Right, there's certain things that we'd expect you to work back from and certain things you wouldn't.
No. According to you, betrayal is betrayal. Whether she sucked or had a lap dance, fuck that shit.
Yes, doing something sexual with somebody else, to me, whatever it is, whether you're sucking their fingers and then licking their face or them, to me, I don't feel there's a difference. But that has nothing. No. You're conflating things.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. When I talk about sexual stuff that has nothing to do with someone and the things they might say to you, it's a different category.
Okay, so peep game. To that person, that might be their betrayal.
I'm saying, isn't this part of the threshold that most of us would look at a married couple and say, that's something you should work back from? That sometimes in the heat of the moment, people will say hurtful things to each other, especially over the course of a long marriage. And that can vary to degrees, right? And people might have lower thresholds than others. I'm just asking the question, is this, in your opinion, past this threshold of people saying, yeah, we should work back from this?
I don't consider this a normal person. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, we should, on our side, we're like, yeah, get over it. You should work on that. You know what I mean? You should work on that. That's like, come on now, B. I understand that. You guys should be able to work through and get over it. That's what I mean by that.
Sure.
But, yo, from what I understand with people that are introvert, like, it takes them a lot to share.
Sure.
So it's not just as, like, a normal hobby, I shit on your mangas and you're like, whatever.
But that
It's
goes,
cool.
but that goes both ways, doesn't it? Like, if someone spent this much time that you decided to marry them, that you've felt safe with them this long, that means that they must have made you feel safe for quite some time period, right?
And now they don't.
Right. But my whole point is, like, you can't just look at that history and say it doesn't exist. I can also understand that you can say, well, it's so hard to even get here. But don't forget, like, you haven't really gotten here with that many people. And this person, for a long time, was your support beacon. We, as people who are reading this story, are reading it with none of the history that they have. On n'a pas l'historique.
Yeah, but I'm going with the clues that I got. So whenever you say, oh, we had the rules about no work at home and everything and stuff, I feel like that person, maybe that person is petty. Maybe that person is has a hard time forgiving people, whatever, whatnot. But the way that person is reacting, that was a huge fuck you and forget you and forget everything about you. Let me just shit on everything. So on this side, the response to some people is like, oh, F me?
Right.
Cool. F you too.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
you're not going to make any effort? I'm not going to make any effort either.
Yeah, it's actually not only just f you also said fuck myself.
Yeah.
Because he said, why don't I just be like my workaholic dad, you know what I mean, and just do this shit? Because apparently you don't like who I am, so I'm going to stop being me. Right? Right?
But the thing that happened as well is that before he was questioning their marriage, she questioned theirs.
Because she made that comment, why did I even marry you?
And even questioned why I married him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a wild comment. Facts.
If I gotta keep on loving you, don't be mad because I changed. Because I gotta change.
There was so much crazy shit in there. That one slipped my mind until you brought it back.
No, but that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know why you don't. That's a shutdown. Wrap it up, bro.
That's hurtful.
I don't know why I even married. Woo!
Breeze past that one, but put this in the beginning.
Wrap it up.
And put me saying that in the end. Put that in the beginning.
Wrap it up. I don't even.
Yeah,
You can't. To me, it's crazy to be like, I don't even know why I married you, and I don't know how to fix it. Woo! I'm gonna tell you how you fix that. Go find out what it is that you wanted to marry me, and then figure it out, and then tell me.
I put myself there. I'm sitting across somebody. We've been struggling together for 7 years because I'm assuming they've been dating for 3 minimum. That's the average before people get married. 7 years, right? 4-year marriage. And soon you say some shit like that to me, and I gotta sit back. I'm like, bitch, with all the shit we done sacrificed, all the changing, combining our lives, conversations, job changes, whatever the fuck it is, and you gonna say some shit like you don't know why? I'm gonna be actually honest. Let me bring that shit back. Out of everything that was said,
That was the worst.
That was the worst.
100%.
Now that I think about it,
No, I'm hot.
this is why I'm hot. I'm hot because you ain't because
You
not.
ain't.
Okay, but no, that was definitely.
So that's the reason why he went. That's the reason why he went. No, but you know, my dad. I understand why he divorced.
Ooh, yeah.
I understand why he divorced.
You know what, preach? You brought me to your side. You brought me to your side. I'm gonna say that. Nah, you brought me to your side. I'm gonna admit it. You know, I was definitely, but that comment is definitely like a.
Wow! If you want to fix it, go figure out why you married me, and then we could talk about that. Because then saying I don't know how to fix it, my girl,
Okay.
I don't know how to fix that.
I want you to think, even forget a marriage. Like, you and I work together, and if I said some shit like, nigga, I don't even know why I do this fucking channel. Oof. To me, That is deep. That's a level of invalidation.
After all the shit we done been through.
Yeah, you didn't just
After
invalidate
the
my
ups,
hobbies and like you
everything.
validated.
The ups, the down, the feuds, the hating, the coming back, the riots, the escaping riots. Oh, that's not. Oh, those are fighting words. Those are fighting words.
You know what I will say? In all the years that you and I have worked together, we have never said anything even remotely
I cannot.
crazy.
Bro, I can't. No. Let's have
One
differences.
time you called me a bitch, though. That was crazy.
You call me.
no.
You call me gay all the fucking time.
And I said, I'm gay too.
Yay. Or the efforts that I did being an introvert.
To do watch the national soccer games.
For me to be an introvert, he sacrificed as well in this relationship that you have to understand. That so all of this thing, the efforts that I did to have this thing with you, you don't even really. There might be like an epiphany with that at that time. Like you don't even really care about what I do.
Yeah.
Why would I spend some time with you? You don't even care.
Yeah.
So fuck you, fuck me, right?
You know, I can definitely relate. Because, you know, between the two of us, I have the super nerd hobbies. I do the whole Dungeons and Dragons stuff. I hold the fantasy writing stuff. So I get it. Like, I have, you know, super uncool hobbies in a lot of ways. And, you know, I've definitely had people who come into my life and wanted to learn about some of the stuff that I'm into, be it like the, you know, super nerdy strategy games I'm into. And just like, there's no real earnest interest oftentimes. And I think one thing I've learned over time is that the odds of you finding a partner who's going to take a real genuine interest is very, very rare. But I think it's very reasonable to expect someone who will be respectful. Okay? The same way when I have a partner and they like to watch dumb reality TV shows, I never say nothing. I never shit on it. I never say a bad word, because the same way I can't get this whole world and watching Love Island every week, they can't get my shit. And it's cool. I think it's the bare minimum to say you're going to be respectful and not constantly shit on what the other person loves. Because by extension, you're shitting on them. And it means a lot to them. It keeps them company. It makes them feel good about everyday life. And you shitting on that, it's like shitting on a big part of them. One thing she said at the beginning that I do think is a problem on his side is, and this is the thing that men often do, men put everything on their partners, right? Because what did she say at the beginning?
He's slightly on the spectrum and very introverted, so he doesn't have close friends. I'm really the only person he shares everything with.
Okay, see that last line? I'm really the person he shares everything with. This has been my experience. When you have these hobbies that you're so passionate about, you invest in them, you spend time with them. But also when you meet somebody who shows interest, sometimes you get overly excited in trying to share with them because you want to transfer to them part of what that is. I just say this because I've had girls try to do this with me in reality TV, and I'm just staring at them like I'm trying so hard to keep it together right now. But thankfully, I tell her, go talk to your girlfriends, because I can only handle so much of this. I hate this shit.
Yeah.
But I'm being respectful. So I don't say that. But I'm glad when they talk to the girlfriend. But if it's always on that person, that to me is oftentimes a recipe for disaster.
Sure. When you know that a person is not into your stuff, what's that stuff? Don't worry about it. That's just my shit. What is it? Don't worry about it. Oh, but what is it? You're not gonna be interested. Mm-hmm. So don't even worry about it. No, I really want to know. And then you start to get into it, and then you start to show. And then they're like, that's stupid shit anyway. I knew it. I knew it. Scooby-Doo. I knew it.
I share up to a point and then I stop. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, if you want more, you come for it.
Yeah, but that's
you should know by now whether you want to do this or not. But don't waste my time. I think online people often just say stuff like break up, but I honestly just think people mostly do that because they have none of the context and the shared history. It's very easy to say, just divorce the person when your lives are not intertwined and you don't have that history.
Yeah.
I always am very reluctant to tell people to just quit. That doesn't mean it's not the right thing. I'm just saying I don't have enough information to say that.
Oh, and if it's over, if you're, it's never going to be the same.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be very reluctant to share anything else with you. Yeah. Because the worst thing is feeding ammunition to the person that's going to hurt you. If I open up and you use this shit against me, whoo!
Yeah.
I don't know how to get back from that. I don't.
You don't?
I don't know how to.
I don't know. Maybe this isn't my lived experience, but I've definitely had people who did some stuff that was very, very hurtful. And, after we work through that and years go by, you build up that trust. Like, that's just, a down point in your long, long story. I think if you can't be with somebody and be with them for 10, 12 years and not have a singular or second moment like that where you think, damn, that shit, I didn't know we was going to come back from that.
I'm telling you, maybe I haven't been through that. Maybe that's something I gotta live and I gotta know for. But the me opening up, you use that shit again.
Wait, you've never even with family or siblings?
They use shit against me. These people are dead to me.
Really?
Oh, these people are dead to me. You use shit against me? My God.
No, I feel like that's just the nature of family. Families are always going to say something that they know is the most hurtful thing at one point or another. I just feel like that's standard.
And you know, that's probably my toxic trait. If I ain't got nothing smart, if I ain't got nothing nice to say, I'm gonna say something smart and devastating. And then dead. You're dead. It's over.
Okay, so your parents, your sibling never said nothing.
My sibling, never. You
Parents never said nothing that you went.
Yeah, absolutely.
And did y'all not
they
come
got
back?
checked for it. I didn't.
I'm not saying but didn't y'all come back? I agree that
We never came back the same. And that's what and that's what I said. And it was the nature of what was said, which you know what I mean?
Okay.
Of course, I'm the man of degrees, and I ain't talking about school. I'm talking about
yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's degrees to this shit, but there is definitely gonna be a dent. There was times when my parents used shit against me, and I look at them and like, hey, I will never tell you shit ever. A couple of months back, my mom told me, why don't you tell me other things? I'm like, I don't do anything because you lost that privilege a long ass time ago.
Okay.
That's you. You use shit against people.
So once someone loses a privilege for you, they can never get it back.
No, that's not what I'm saying. But for that,
Okay.
I'm not gonna try to change you, so I'm gonna change me. Because I know you're gonna go back to that. That's you. You old. You can't change.
You think old people can't change?
No, I think they can't change. You're gonna do it again.
Fair.
You're gonna do it, in order for me to keep on loving you, you're not gonna change. I'm gonna change. You're not gonna know shit. How am I gonna be able to make this work? Okay, without having to constantly hate you for the shit that you do, cause I know I'm a little crash out, and when I know I'm a little crash out, so when shit like that. It's okay. The faces are warranted. He knows. And when I try to stay calm, it's not because I'm afraid of what I'm gonna say or do, and I want to go there. Mm-hmm. So I'll change.
I don't have preacher's parents. I've seen my parents change, and so I think even as they gotten older, I don't share that same sentiment. I believe people can change, but I think I do agree with him that you may never go back, but you can go to something different, and that's okay too. Everyone has their own lines. There's no right answer to this. I can't tell somebody else what is acceptable, what's not within the confines of a marriage and what they should tolerate. For some people, infidelity is okay, and then I might say not for me. So, everyone's going to have a different line. I don't think this is an unreasonable one to say this is grounds for a divorce. I struggle with that personally, but, again, it's a hard call. So I would never fault someone necessarily. But I think this story is made exponentially worse by the fact that this person is everything to him. I think that's probably one of the core details of this. I think if you got a group of friends and you share it regularly, you probably don't place that burden on them. You probably have a bunch of people who reinforce your self-esteem in regards to the things that you love and you're passionate about because they share the same passion for you and they respect your opinion on it. To me, if I could say anything to anybody watching, if you love these hobbies of yours and whatever it is, find people who are like-minded. It'll mean a lot to you. It'll be better for your relationship and it'll be better for you. You need to protect yourself. You need to make sure that your sense of self-esteem and your sense of acceptance doesn't just come from your partner.
But no.
That brought it back for me. So you take the W. I'll give you that one. All right.
My W, whatever, but that's, my God.
All right, let us know what y'all think in the comments.
I got